The Prince of Persia titles had been lost in time for over a decade. No one except Ubisoft knew what would happen to the series, whether we would ever get another new game in this fantastic franchise. It all started when the idea of a new, revolutionary Prince of Persia game was transformed into the Assassin's Creed title, and with that, we lost the prince, until the beginning of this year. In January, the first 2D Prince of Persia title in many years was released. It was excellent, unexpectedly good. Just a few months later, we receive yet another new Prince of Persia game. It's somewhat strange that this was intentionally done, giving us two 2D Prince of Persia games within less than 6 months. However, these games differ significantly in execution. The Lost Crown was, in a way, a 2.5D Metroidvania platformer. It was outstanding in every aspect, a beautiful game with wonderfully designed levels. There was so much to explore and collect. The Lost Crown became one of the better Metroidvania games we've received in recent years. Now, the Rogue Prince of Persia, the new game in the franchise, also in 2D, takes a different approach. This is a roguelite title developed by Evil Empire, the team behind the popular Dead Cells. Despite my personal reservations about roguelite games, when it comes to Prince of Persia, I couldn't resist. The story begins with the Prince of Persia being abducted by the Huns, who invaded his beloved land. When this happened, the Huns ravaged cities, killing and capturing people. A few days after the invasion, the prince's blacksmith and mentor, Shukra, manages to free him from captivity, and his quest for revenge begins. The prince carries a magical amulet called Bola, and he is convinced that if he dies, Bola will bring him back before the Hun invasion, allowing him to save everyone. After the first death, Bola returns him to the moment of his liberation, a few days after the invasion. The prince is puzzled by this time loop. He must uncover why this is happening, free all his captured allies and loyal servants, and defeat the Huns. But he wonders, is anyone else aware of this time loop? Does anyone else feel the repeated agony of watching citizens die over and over again? With each run, you'll unlock new dialogues, and as you progress through the game, new characters will appear in your camp. Each character has different dialogues after each death. Most are completely unaware of the time loop, but you might encounter characters who are fully conscious of the prince's predicament. It's up to you to discover their secrets. Since the prince is aware of everything, some dialogues can be quite humorous. He handles the situation with remarkable ease, even playfully commenting on repeated boss battles. The game's levels are not entirely linear, and there are 6 biomes to explore, along with 2 bosses for now. As you explore one biome, you'll find clues and missions left by lost people, which will unlock access to another biome. The game features the Prince's Mind Map, where you can see all the clues you found and locate prisoners who will populate your camp. These prisoners become part of the story, offering dialogues and items for purchase. Weapon drops are essential on each level. You'll unlock weapons by finding them in secret rooms, hidden behind platforming challenges, or by purchasing them with glimmers, currency, found during levels. Each weapon has a distinct move set and damage output. Upgrading weapons during a level is possible if you encounter traders and blacksmiths. Since the game is a roguelite, you lose everything upon death except for unlocked upgrades and glimmers sent back to camp. Collecting and unlocking weapons is crucial for your progress. The gameplay mechanics are the standout feature. The controls are precise, responsive, and free of lag. The prince can walk on walls where they exist, adding an interesting dimension to level design. Combat involves light and heavy attacks, kicking enemies, and using secondary weapons like bows, chakras, or grappling hooks. Combining all these moves is essential. Combat can become chaotic but manageable. You'll know exactly what to do to survive. The prince's initial 1000 HP seems like a lot, but stronger enemies can deal significant damage. Managing health potions becomes crucial. The combination of graphics and music in The Rogue Prince of Persia is perfect. The cartoonish graphics, along with excellent dialogues, truly bring the game to life. While we're not accustomed to seeing the prince in this environment, It serves the overall story and purpose of this title quite well. Now, let's talk about the music. It's something entirely different. When I first heard it, the mix of bass, traditional melodies, and trip-hop rhythms felt unusual. However, each theme on every biome distinctly conveys that fantastic feeling within the game. You'll likely find yourself memorizing some of these melodies and humming them in your head. Maybe you'll even nod your head to the beat because, yes, it's that infectious. The Rogue Prince of Persia is currently in early access on Steam and is accessible to all players. Despite being in early development, it's remarkably polished. I didn't expect this level of fluidity and polish for an early access game. The gameplay system is both deep and engaging. If you're a fan of Prince of Persia or roguelite games, I highly recommend giving this one a try. You won't regret it. And for Steam Deck users, it's likely a fantastic addition to your library.